Alexander Ceferin. What a very cold look in the stands. Al Khalifi to the right, the president of PSG, the chairman of the European Club Association, is happy. His team is winning big. There's Beppe Marotta, the president of Inter. He kind of looks show-shocked. The president of UEFA looks more upset than the president of Inter. And some people like to say that he's trying to get back at Andrea Agnelli because he wants to see Inter win the Champions League. And I don't buy that logic. He was basically, Andrea Agnelli tried to orchestrate the Super League behind Ceferin's back. In my eyes, he does not exist anymore. Ceferin is the godfather of one of Agnelli's children. They had a very close relationship up to the point where Agnelli and Juventus and Real Madrid and Barcelona and all the others tried to start the Super League with Florentino Perez and Agnelli at the top. So I think that's why. But I don't think this is the main reason behind Inter getting beneficial decisions. Basically, what it comes down to, before we get into why he's upset, basically, Inter are in massive debt. Around 900 million in debt, significant debt. The interest payments, 60 million a year alone. So why was Inter getting the calls? To produce revenue to help balance the books. They made 200 million from this Champions League campaign thanks to making it to the final, thanks to decisions such as this. Marotta and Ceferin. Ceferin selected the Real Madrid tote bag carrying referee Marcinac because he was going to be biased against Barcelona, and by being biased against Barcelona, it was going to allow Inter to make it to the final so Inter can help resolve the debt situation. And so Marcinac, Real Madrid tote bag. You see it right there. The Real Madrid tote bag. So they selected this referee because some will say that Real Madrid are trying to prevent Yamal and Barcelona from winning the Champions League. Yes, that's somewhat true. It's all it's all different politics connected together. So right there, they screwed Barcelona because they are taking care of Inter's debt situation. Now, Barcelona are going to have more revenue with the renovated Camp Nou, so there is some money coming in for a renovated Camp Nou. Now, this renovated Camp Nou, Barcelona are due to win a Champions League in a couple to few years. But this is about taking care of the initial liabilities in Inter's books. This record-breaking Champions League campaign, 200 million, plus the FIFA Club World Cup. So right there, it is about Beppe Marotta getting help from Ceferin to pay for the debts of Inter. And it was pre-planned for Inter to play in the final against PSG. PSG's kit sponsor is Qatar. PSG are owned by Qatar, and Inter's training kit sponsor is Qatar Airways. And Bayern Munich were sponsored by Qatar Airways up until around 2021, 2022. And it was Bayern that hosted the final. So they decided this year that Inter's debt situation was going to get resolved. We helped the international betting syndicate. You know, Real Madrid and Barcelona both don't win the Champions League. They're both popular bets. You know, we fool people with this, oh, this is an experienced team, oh, they're going to win it this time around. And they had the beneficial decisions too. President of Serie A, another high-ranking member of Serie A. There's Beppe Marotta, there's Ceferin. This guy is an Italian deputy of UEFA. And Bayern don't get the foul call because Inter are in debt and they're trying to bring money in to help Inter resolve the debt situation. It is all so these new owners make money. Oaktree Capital took over last year when Suning failed to repay the loan, and Oaktree buys this club. They take control, and they're looking to make a profit because this is a hedge fund right there. They're a venture capitalist firm. And basically, Ceferin is like, he's happy his team is winning. Beppe Marotta is shell-shocked. Alexander Ceferin, and now a lot of Juventinos think he wanted Inter to win, but Al Khalifi has more power. He's more influential because PSG were against the Super League from the start. PSG, Bayern, and Dortmund were the only teams to not accept an invitation to join the Super League in a coup against UEFA and its president, Ceferin. What he was upset about was the fact that this was a disastrous game. That it was a terrible game. It was like watching PSG against some bottom table team in Ligue 1, and this is supposed to be the best game out there. Like, Ceferin's thinking, we really gave Beppe Marotta and these guys a spot in the final to watch this crap, to watch this dross. I could have had Barca against PSG. What am I watching? What am I watching? What am I watching? Why I could have had Barca in there instead of Inter? What kind of show was this? This was a disaster. Does it make a difference or not? Does he really regret not having Barca in the final? Does he regret having a mediocre, garbage Inter team in the final that got lucky because Yamal hit the post 3 times? There's a foul on the build-up. You know, they were destroyed. He was like, what a disaster of a game this is. What a disaster of a game. I don't think he wanted to see Inter win. They already knew PSG were going to win. They already knew they were going to win. He was pissed off that this was such a disastrous game. It wasn't even a close game. So making sense of the politics, making sense of the calls for Inter to make it to the final in the first place. It is about balancing the books. Barcelona fell victim to this. Real Madrid, obviously, they did not want to see Barca win, help Inter pay the debts. PSG gets rewarded with a Champions League title because they did not rebel against the Super League. But he was not happy that this game was a complete dud.